All right, in this video, we're going to talk about what is next for Link. And then towards the end of the video, we're going to talk about the future of Bitcoin and how some people are saying Bitcoin is going to react as it gets closer to the halving coming up in April. What I have here in front of me is the daily chart for Link. Of course, we have all enjoyed the fantastic run up that Link has gone through since we were at about 7.5 in October. And we have hit a top of about, let's just say roughly 20 over the last few days. And Link has been trading very well. It's been doing this level to level trading, which means it breaks level and then stays above that level and then breaks this level and it stayed within this level right here for about almost 3 months, really. And then we've gone up another level that was broken toward the beginning of February, and we have yet to fall down. And I don't know that we will, but so far, Link has done a very good job of not being negatively impacted by any drawbacks or pullbacks by Bitcoin that happened here in January, where you saw a lot of these altcoins just kind of flush in January. You saw that across the board. Link never really had a flush, and it just kind of stayed normal and holding, which is a indication of its strength. And I still call Link kind of the grown up in the room, the adult in the room. It tends to be less emotional, it seems, and holds its value better. It might take a little bit to get up to its level, but generally, over the last several months, when it has gotten to a level, it has held. Of course, we're looking to break this 20.62 level. That's just an approximation. If I zoom here on the daily, you can see it was the top here. You could even move that up to the tippy top of that, which would be 20.87. It's really irrelevant. We're looking at this level right here, generally between 20 and 21 to break. And we challenged it over the last few days, but as you can see today and really kind of over the weekend, we've seen some softness in crypto. And right now we're seeing a good bit of softness. As you can see, where most of these altcoins are red, including Link. And that's just a natural part of movement in financial instruments. Bitcoin is at this level, and you can see it's still struggling to get past this level of about 52,000. It's been at this level really going on a week now. And we're starting to see a lot of wicks back and forth, which means there's some indecision, definitely battling going on between if the bulls or bears are going to win over the next few days. And that's kind of where we get into the talk of halving. Okay. We do have the Bitcoin halving, which is expected to happen around April 20th. That's what this line right here indicates. I guess I could tighten it up a little bit more. I had it in a range from the 15th to the 20th, but most everything I'm seeing as we get closer, they're saying it will be about the 20th. So this is the time frame we're looking at. As of today, we have right at 2 months before we have this halving in Bitcoin. Historically, we've had a run up before the halving, and then we have a retrace before the halving, and we tend to consolidate through the halving, sit there for a few weeks, maybe even a couple of months before Bitcoin takes off. That has historically been the pattern before halvings. And so it's not going to surprise me or a lot of people that I watch in crypto if we do see some type of retrace coming up here in the next few weeks that might bring us down to somewhere between 40 to 45,000. That would be about a 20% retrace. If it's a light retrace of 10%, that's still going to bring us down to about 45,000. So don't be surprised if we see something like that in Bitcoin. And of course, that would be reflected in the softness of these altcoins, which we're kind of seeing, as how would I say it? As Bitcoin pulls these altcoins up, they do go up. But if Bitcoin kind of stalls, these altcoins will start giving up some of their gains. Now they're not going to slide all the way down. They're not going to bottom out. It's just like, it's kind of like Bitcoin is the fuel that fuels these altcoins. And if there's not momentum continuously going up in Bitcoin, oftentimes altcoins as a whole will just drift, and they'll gradually drift generally down, especially after running up like they have. So don't be surprised with any slow drifting that we see over the next few days or weeks. It's all going to depend on what Bitcoin does. Now, some are saying this historical behavior of Bitcoin before halving is rather irrelevant, mainly because we have hundreds of millions of dollars coming into these Bitcoin ETFs that were approved back in January. And to get a sense of how much money that is, I'm going to switch to X or Twitter, and let's look at a post by Bitcoin Magazine. You can see right here, they said, just in, last week had the largest weekly inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs on record at $2.45 billion. Okay, here is the week. $2.5 billion of new money came into Bitcoin through these ETFs just last week. That was almost twice as much as the previous weeks. And so the flow of money into Bitcoin is not stopping. It's continuously growing, it seems. And so others are saying, hey, we're not going to get this same reaction we normally do in Bitcoin before the halving. And it's just a matter of the demand completely outweighing the supply, and we're going to continue to drift up. I can go either way. Long term, it doesn't matter. Let's say that again. Long term, it doesn't matter. More than likely, what you should be doing is in a project you like, a coin you like, and you should hold, accumulate on any dips if you have capital to deploy. If you do not, just hold. I am fully deployed. I have spent all the money I'm going to, risked all the money I'm going to on crypto. And so there's no dips for me to buy. I am in the waiting period and will wait through 2024 and 2025, at least a lot of 2025, to see how my coins react. So it's kind of up to you, but I would suggest being in something and then holding. So that's the reason I say long term, it doesn't really matter if we have a drawdown before halving or not. This is what matters. We have a ton of money coming into Bitcoin, and that is why we have seen this run up here. I did want to share one more thing that I found very interesting about Bitcoin as it relates to the halving. Rect Capital is someone I follow on Twitter, and let's look at a chart. It's a little confusing, but bear with me. Historically, Bitcoin tends to break its 4-year cycle resistance in the black. Here's the 4-year cycle of resistance. Here's the level around 738 back in the first this halving in 2016, the level of 13,000 and the halving in 2020, and this level 52,000 where we're at. Okay, so 4-year cycle, 1, 2, 3 halving, 1, 2, 3 halving, 1, 2, 3 halving. Okay, so that's his point. This cycle is no different in that regard, in that we are breaking this resistance. However, he says, it is the first time ever that Bitcoin has broken this resistance in the pre-halving period. So his point is there's been resistance here at these halvings, and we broke them in year 4, but we broke them after the halving. And we broke this resistance after the halving. Yet we're still 2 months away from the halving this cycle, and we've already broken resistance. And so he's touting the strength of Bitcoin, even the historical strength of Bitcoin before these halvings, and how much stronger Bitcoin seems to be behaving even before we get to the uber bullish event of halving that has normally skyrocketed Bitcoin. I will say the same thing for Link that I said with Bitcoin. Long term, it does not matter. We may see a drift down. It just depends on how Bitcoin reacts around this 52,000. And it depends on if Link happens to get picked up, like we've seen VET get picked up. In 2 days, it went up 30 or 40%. HBAR got picked up yesterday or day before yesterday. In about 2 days, it went up about 30, 35%. Any of these altcoins could do the same at any moment. I'm not exaggerating. I'm saying any of these altcoins could do the same at any moment. And there's really no when or why or explanation for why one would get picked up over the other. I'm just saying it could happen. And I don't think I've already mentioned this level. Of course, this is the next level right here. We got to break around Link. So that is my outlook on Link. Long term, it doesn't matter. Short term, we could be stuck in this range right here, depending on what Bitcoin does. If I wake up tomorrow morning, or sometime today, in fact, and we see Bitcoin's going up to around 53 and 54,000, that's just going to be a great indicator that we might go ahead and break this level here in the next few days. Either way, we'll watch it together, and y'all come back. I will keep you updated on Link.